Hey everyone, my name's Rickard and welcome to Rick's Forge. I've been blacksmithing for 18 months and I thought I'd take you on my journey on what I've been learning and how I started off. Now, the inspiration for this video today is because I'm a member of a lot of forums on Facebook, on Twitter and websites all about blacksmithing, and there's always a question that's been asked is how do I start off in blacksmithing and how much does it cost? Now, you see a lot of people going out and buying anvils and gas forges, and that's a lot of expense that you don't necessarily need. So I'm just going to show you the equipment that I started off with, and from there I'll take you on my journey. So you need four things to start off with besides a piece of metal to hit and shape, and that is something to hit it with, something to hang on to it with, something to hit onto, and of course a source of heat. So I'll just quickly show you. So this is my anvil that I made. I sourced this piece of steel from the local scrapyard. It is 12mm thick steel plate. I cut it in half and had one of my friends weld it together. I've simply just drilled some holes and attached it to this log. Now, I have the advantage that my family own a farm, so this log was easy to get for me. Now, if you don't have that availability, you can always go and source your local woodcutter in your local town and ask them to get a log. Just make sure it's nice, solid, hard wood to begin with. As you can see, I've shaped it a bit so I can get to the edges, and made sure I had a bit of a hangover so I can straighten things out. Now, when I first attached this, I did fill this gap here with a bit of silicone, more so not to stick it down, but more so just to fill any gaps, because obviously you can't get a perfectly flat surface there. I did break these bolts out eventually because I pre-drilled them and they kind of gave way, so I have reseated this down recently, and I stole some of my young bloke's sand from out of his sand pit, put the sand down, shuffled it down, and then reseated that, and that's nice and strong. Now, something to hit with. I happen to have this lying around. This is my beast and it does the job. It is very heavy. And of course, something to hang on to your work with. Now, this isn't ideal, but it's something I had laying around, and this is what I use. The bigger the better, because obviously you're going to be putting your hand near heat and you don't want to stick your hand in there. Now, for my heat source, I've got an old 44-gallon drum. I've cut it into a third, and as you can see, I've got a piece of exhaust that runs all the way through it. Now, I got that from my local exhaust place. It cost me nothing, and I just went there. I asked them for a piece of exhaust. I told them what I wanted to do with it. They took me out back and showed me their skip and said go nuts. So I went through there, found a nice piece that I wanted and brought it home. Now, I have cut down the end and folded it over to stop the air from just blowing straight through, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but I've drilled a whole bunch of holes through the exhaust, and I simply just use my air blower that I happen to already have when I use this. So the barrel cost me $15, the piece of steel cost me $15. The hammer obviously I already had, but you can pick these up from your local hardware store for about 20 bucks. Not with the metal handle, with a wood handle, and again, something I had lying around. So that's it from me today. Next week I will get some wood and I'll show you how it all works, and we'll make the first lot of tools from some scrap, a bit of Rio to make some tongs, and a coil spring to make a chisel and a punch. I'll see you then.